All square between table toppers Liverpool and second place Nottingham Forest this past weekend. But what will go on this coming weekend as the Premier League action continues? We'll talk about that and much more next. That's right, folks. But what's going on in another prediction video today? It's all about match number 22. That's right, in the Premier League, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and you want stop shop for Premier League, Blabbing Rovers, World Football. We're going to all here under one rooski. That's right. Drop points for Liverpool and Forest at the top of the table, with, of course, a draw. Arsenal squeaking now into second place with an all-important win over Tottenham Hotspur. What else went on this week? This past week, double match week in the Premier League. We'll showcase you that in a minute. Big shout out to the members. Big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, hit the old subscribe. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit the games from this past week, and of course bring you back up to speed with everything else in the table. Alrighty then, folks, let's turn the clock back to this past midweek with double action, of course, or 3 games in the space of 10 days, depending on how you look at it. Of course, Chelsea with only a 2-2 draw against Bournemouth. That one with a 3-1 win, so got the right amount of goals in that. Meanwhile, the Hammers under Graham Potter, 3-2 winners over Fulham. Very close game there. A lot of goals in those as well. Meanwhile, Brentford and Man City with a 2-2 draw. I think Man City were 2-0 up at one stage at that game, but Brentford coming back into it with a 2-2 draw. Forest 1, Liverpool 1. I went with a 1-1 draw myself. Meanwhile, Everton did lose under David Moyes. 1-0 loss to Aston Villa on that one. Leicester also losing to Palace. The Glasgow ball with a big 2-0 win there. Newcastle with a 3-0 win over Wolves. And Arsenal did beat Spurs 2-1 with a 2-2 draw. And now I am recording this ahead of the games between Ipswich, Brighton, Man United, Southampton. But hopefully, or maybe, probably not, I might update the graphic to reflect those scorelines. But currently the table looks like this, with Liverpool in prime time position, Arsenal in second spot, and Forest in there as well. Going down is Southampton, is Leicester, it is Wolves, but it's still a lot to be decided with that and much more. Of course, we'll take a look at it as we edge to closer to the weekend's action. And these are going to be the games. We're not bringing it up to date with the Super Brew. Please bear with me. We'll come back to that in about a week or two's time. But these are the games. Got some absolute crackers on the agenda. So we're going to start with and Saturday's trip to Newcastle for Bournemouth. That's right. Goodness gracious me. Newcastle flying high under Eddie Howe up against his old club Bournemouth and Andy Riola. Newcastle are in 4th right now. 6 wins on the bounce, if not more than that, up against Bournemouth, who are unbeaten in the last 6 games, sitting in 8th for the table, 34 points for the season. They have played each other 14 times since 2015. 5 wins Newcastle, 3 wins Bournemouth. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at this venue, it was a 2-2 draw. They also played each other this campaign in match number 2, also a 1-1 draw. In fact, 3 of the last 4 between these two sides have ended up all square. Newcastle, though, on the back of successive home wins, back-to-back 3-1 win over Bromley, that was in the Cup, 3-0 win over Wolves. Meanwhile, Bournemouth, of course, just continue to be difficult. Their last couple of away games have ended up 2-2. They're showing some fight and desire. 13-8 on, though, is your Newcastle to win this one. 60-5 is the draw. 4-1 is your long shots. Of course, I am going to back Newcastle here, though, despite Bournemouth's recent run of form. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win because Newcastle are really your serious contenders for the top 4 once again under Eddie Howe. Meanwhile, West Ham United, they're up against Crystal Palace in a bit of a London affair here. Coming at London Stadium. West Ham under Graham Potter coming in on the back of a win. They are 12th in the table right now, 26 points for the season. Up against Crystal Palace, who are 14th, or they're on 24 points for the season, and they are unbeaten in the last 5 matches. They've played each other 34 times since 1994, 12 wins apiece and 10 draws. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2023. They've also played each other at Crystal Palace this campaign. Match number 2 is a 2-0 win for West Ham. The Hammers did beat Fulham in also an All London affair this week. 3-2 winners there. Crystal Palace make it back-to-back clean sheets with a 1-0 win over Stockport, and then most recently a 2-0 win over Leicester. The odds right here, right now, we're looking at West Ham 8-5 for the victory, 7-4 is your Crystal Palace, 9-4 is the draw. Bookies seem to be leaning towards a draw here, but I'm going to give it to the Hammers. New manager bounce, especially at London Stadium. It's got Leicester now under Ruud van Nistelrooy. Up against Fulham, of course, under Marco Silva at the King Power Stadium. Ruud van Nistelrooy's boys just 1 win in the last 6. They are 19th for the table, 14 points for the campaign. That 1 win was probably in the FA Cup. We'll look at it in a minute. Up against Marco Silva's Fulham, just 1 defeat in the last 6. In fact, if you look at it a different way, 1 win in the last 4. They've drawn quite a few, 3 of the last 6, but they are 9th for the table, 30 points for the season, and they're taking on Leicester City, which will be the 16th time since 2001. Previously, though, 3 wins Leicester, 8 wins Fulham. Fulham, 4 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue was a 1-0 win for Fulham back in January 2023. The reverse fixture this season, 2-1 win it was for Fulham back in August. Leicester did beat QPR 6-2, but they lost against Crystal Palace at the same venue, 2-0 winners to Crystal Palace. Meanwhile, Fulham losing to West Ham, of course, in the previous match heading into this one. The odds right here right now, we've got West Ham 8-5, we have Leicester 29-10 for the victory, 30-5 is the draw, 11-10 on is your Fulham, and they're going to go win this one as well. 2-1 win, Fulham take the points. Rude is in trouble, guys. Meanwhile, Brentford up against Liverpool. That's right, Brentford getting a good result against Man City up against Liverpool, of course, who've hit a bit of a bump in the road of late. Coming out of the Brentford Community Stadium, Brentford under Thomas Frank, just 1 win in the last 6, 10 for the table, 28 points for the campaign. Up against Liverpool, who've just won once in the last 4, but they are top with 47 points for the season. They have played each other 7 times since 2021. 1 win Brentford, 5 wins Liverpool's been only 1 draw between the two sides. The last time played at this very venue was a 4-1 win for Liverpool back in February 2024. The reverse fixture, of course, 2-0 winners it was for Liverpool, who have won 4 on the spin. Liverpool's recent run, of course, losing the Spurs, beating Accrington Stanley, and then drawing with Nottingham Forest. The last win in the league was a 5-0 win over West Ham on the road. Brentford with that 2-2 draw against Man City most recently. The odds right here, right now, we are looking at Brentford are 5-1 for the victory, 2-1 on is your Liverpool, and 7-2 is the draw. Liverpool will win this one, 2-1 win. Not going to be big, not going to be impressive, but enough to take the points. Let's go to Arsenal up against Aston Villa, the battle of the A's coming at the Emirates. That's right, Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, 58% form for them right now. In second spot with 43 points for the season. Up against Villa under Unai Emery, they are 7th right now, 35 points for the season, but they won 3 on the bloody spin. They have played each other 59 times since 1993. 34 wins Arsenal, 11 wins Aston Villa, 14 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at the Emirates, it was a 2-0 win for Aston Villa back in April 2024. The reverse fixture this campaign at Villa Park, match day number 2. It was an Arsenal victory, 2-0 win at Villa Park. Villa, though, winning against Everton most recently to make it 3 wins on the bounce, picking wins up against Leicester and West Ham as well. And Arsenal with that important 2-1 win over the North London rivals Spurs before this game. Coming at you 25-12 on is your Arsenal, 31-10 is the draw, 6-1 is your long shots. That's Villa. Unfortunately, I'd like to see Villa get something out of here, but I think Arsenal will just about nick it in their own backyard. Manchester United up against Brighton, but they are also up against Southampton this midweek. I'm sure they're going to get a result there. But Manchester United up against Brighton at Old Trafford. Of course, United on 15th for the table as of recording, 23rd, 23 points for the season. Up against Brighton under Fabian Hutzler, 11th for the table, 28 points for the season. They are the draw kings, picking up 4 draws in the last 5 matches. Played each other 18 times to 2017. 11 wins for Man United, 7 wins for Brighton. There's been 0 draws. The last time around over at Old Trafford, it was a 3-1 win for Brighton back in September 2023. In fact, Brighton also picked up the win at the reverse fixture at the Amex in match day number 2. Brighton on the back of that 4-0 win over Norwich, they are taking on Ipswich tonight. Manchester United also taking on Southampton tonight, but they're coming into on the back of that penalty shootout victory over the Gunners in the FA Cup. The odds right here right now, we've got even Stevens is United, 13-5 is your Brighton, 13-5 is the draw. United win this one, 2-0 win to maybe get a bit of movement in their season. Meanwhile, high-flying Nottingham Forest up against table bottom club Southampton, coming at you at the City Ground. Nuno Espirito Santos boys, 3rd in the table, 41 points for the season, 92% form for them right now. Up against Southampton under Ivan Juric, 25% form for them right now, rock bottom, and have played Forest 15 times since 1994. We've got 9 wins, Forest 3 wins. Southampton's been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at where are we playing? The City Ground. It was, surprisingly, a 4-3 win, 7-goal thriller back in May 2023. The reverse fixture this campaign was a 1-0 win for Nottingham Forest. Forest did draw with Liverpool most recently. The Saints, of course, in action tonight. But previously, before the Man United game, back-to-back games without a goal and conceding. Actually, tell a lie, they did win 3-0 in the Cup. So that's a bit of a lie, a bit of a misnomer there. Meanwhile, Forest, of course, 15-21 on, overwhelming favourites. 7-2 is the draw, 32 your long shots. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Forest to keep the heat at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Everton up against Tottenham coming at Goodison Park. David Moyes is back, but currently they've just got 1 win in the last 6 games and currently in 16th spot in the table. Up against Tottenham, who are 13th, 24 points for the season and back-to-back. Just 2 wins in the last 6 matches. Pretty grim stuff for Tottenham at the moment. Played each other 65 times, though, since 1993. 10 wins for Everton, 30 wins for Tottenham, 25 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at Everton, it was a 2-2 draw back in February 2024. Spurs picked up the win at the Fancy Pants Stadium in August. Of course, Villa losing to Villa most recently. Tottenham losing to their bitter rivals Arsenal most recently. The odds right here, right now, 15-8 is your Everton, 11-8 is your Spurs, 5-2 is the draw. I am going 2-1 winners and getting a victory. But it could be a draw. Moyes could pull one off here and get at least a point in this one. Meanwhile, Ipswich Town up against Manchester City at Portman Road. That's right, Ipswich under Kieran McKenna under a good bit of form right now. 58% form, unbeaten the last 3, 17th for the table, 16 points for the campaign. Up against Man City, who are unbeaten in the last 5. 6 in the table, 35 points for the campaign, and they played each other 13 times since 1994. 6 wins apiece and 1 draw. The last time they played at this venue was a 2-1 win for Ipswich way back in May 2001. The reverse fixture in August, 4-1 winners it was for Man City. Ipswich picking up a 3-0 win over Bristol Rovers. That was in the Cup. Of course, in action tonight against Brighton. Man City with that 2-2 upset, really, against Brentford, despite taking a 2-0 lead. 7-1 is your Ipswich, 3-1 on is your City, 92 is the draw. City will win this one, unfortunately, and they will get a little bit closer to get back in that top 4 condition. And then finally, it's Chelsea, it's Wolves, it's coming at Stamford Bridge. Of course, Chelsea under Mark Gasker, just 1 win in the last 6. 5th at the table, 37 points for the season. Up against Wolves and Victor Pereira, 1 win in the last 4 for them. They are 18th at the table, 16 points for the season. And have played each other 23 times since 2003. 13 wins Chelsea, 6 wins for Wolves, 4 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at Stamford Bridge, it was a 4-2 win for Wolves. That was back in February 2024. The reverse fixture this campaign, 6-2 winners. It was for Chelsea back in match number 2. Chelsea with a 2-2 draw against Bournemouth. Most recently, Wolves are losing to Newcastle, of course. The odds right here, right now, on a Monday night is 3-1 on is your Chelsea, 6-1, 3-1 on, 6-1 is your Wolves, 5-1 is the draw. And I'm going there, guys, going with the draw here on a Monday night. Wolves caused a bit of an upset and getting a share of the points. That's it, guys. Don't forget to get your Super Brew picks in. Keep on predicting and keep on getting involved with the channel. I appreciate the love. Subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later. Until then, we're done.